What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Oh, this is genuinely such a delight to see. Let me turn the music down a little bit for me. It's a little loud, but it's great to see you guys here. First of all, first order of business for the stream. Throwaway, Cameron, Burundi, Don Juriri, and anyone else who would like to redeem your daily coffee. I'll give you a moment to do that if you wish. Let's have our first sip of the stream together. So, let's go. 1, 2, 3. It's still a little warm. So, sorry, that was an exceptionally white kiss. It had coffee on my tongue. But always, and me, and little tiny Isla. It's nice to see you guys here. Oh, that happened to you too? That's weird. Twitch, am I right? Hey, yo. Throwaway. You would be very, very, very happy to hear this. We have an update. We have a part 6 to the I'm a trucker on a highway that doesn't exist. I made a new friend. So, we're not going to read yet, but that will be our first story. As a heads up, today's reading might be horrible. One of the first things I did this morning was have to record a script which was about the assassination of some Vatican Swiss Army colonel or something, and the framing of Cedric, forget his last name, Tournay, I think. And yeah, it was an interesting read, but oh my god, Europeans, you're cool as hell. And I feel like a fair amount of you, but God, having like so many different, I think it was like French, Spanish, German, and Italian names, and then like locations, and it killed me. I made Google very busy. A Swiss Guard, yeah, it's about Swiss Guard at the Vatican. They have like a special unit, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing, I guess, or it might be a fictional story for funsies. But there's Pope John Paul II and dates. So Lystexia was acting up on top of like not knowing how to pronounce most of these names. It's a thing. Fair. But throwaway, I found this story. I was finding something to read to the sweet little lady last night, and I found this, and I'm like, oh, I gotta save it. I gotta save it for my boy. I gotta save it for throwaway. So depending on the time that you have today, I will go ahead and read and keep the chatting to a minimum. But you let me know what works for you, because I want to treat you. I want to treat you. What's up, Kuma? It's nice to see you. How you doing? How you living? How they hanging? Wednesdays are chill. Nice. I think it's probably not going to be an early Nova stream this day. I think we're going to be just, it's my chill day with my chill buddies. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to play Repo if there's enough people. If not, maybe I can strong arm Sue into Monster Hunter. Maybe I can break her Oh, wow. No, never mind. Not really. Take that back. Take that back. I'm good. Tiny break from anatomy studies. Oh, for art or for fun? There's not a wrong answer. Repo Peepo? I suck at it so bad. Isla carries everyone's corpses, literally, and resurrects them. Isla's, if you're playing with Isla, you know Isla has your back. I'm trash at it. I'm getting better, though, passively. Maybe I would be really good at, the paranormal game. I forget what it's called that she's been playing. Nonsense. No, you nonsense yourself. Come on. You're hard MVP, bro. Bro. Phasmophobia. Maybe I'd be great at that. I feel like I wouldn't, from what I've seen of it. It's not my game. Also, I wanted to run something by you guys. Just so we can change it up sometimes. And it's not an issue that I dislike reading. In fact, I love it. It keeps me entertained. How would you guys feel about seeing, like, I don't know exactly what, because it's going to be hard for me to find. But it was suggested that, you know, perhaps once or twice a month, I play a chill game on stream. How would you feel about that? Is that something that you would like to hang out with? I don't know exactly what it would be, but you let me know. I definitely want to. I don't mind branching out to things like that, but I want your input on it. That'd be cool. What's up, Flower Cow? Let's have that sub together. 1, 2, 3. Yum. Okay. Alright. Well then, we will give it a shot. What's up, Miksu? I'm doing pretty good. Had a little vacation in which I saw my best bud. I got a little mentally weird and drank a fair amount, but not an obtuse amount. And just, you know, I had a pretty good time. Both happy to be home and sad to be back. It's a weird feeling. But I get my special lady back. I get time with her again, so I'm pretty happy overall. How you doing? How you living? Daily coffee, let's go. I don't need an excuse to drink more coffee, but I'll happily take one. 1, 2, 3. Yum. It's really weird. Normally when this sits out, it gets bad, but today it tastes like I don't have any milk in it, but there's something like oddly milky in a good way, not in like a weird way. It's nice. Alright, simp. Alright, never mind, I'm not gonna go there. I'm a say-so guy. Let's have this up together. 1, 2, 3. Yum. Oh my. Speaking of that, we will, at some point, I think during the week too, so there'll be less people, seeing the Demon Slayer movie that is supposed to be coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. Enjoy the lurky, me. This is one of very few streams I do say so, not gonna lie. Listen, same here. I have nothing against non-say-so things. And unfortunately, at times, I do get a little unhinged, right? But I make sure that there's a warning, and it's gonna be relaxed, but I generally do try to stay say-so, and I appreciate you being here, Flower Cow. Thank you for that, Pat Always. Did I say Ayumi instead of Elo? Listen, I suck. We already established my reading is not going to be here today. It's the Europeans. It's always the Europeans. They messed me up. They goofed my brain. No, you don't. Wait, what? What did I say? I've already forgotten. You sound like a car? Thanks. That's what I definitely prefer. Like, I'm a cat car. Ride me. I'm gonna put an end to that very quickly. I'm sorry. I had to. You set me up for it. I had to. And that's gonna be the end of it, okay? Alright? Thank you. Thank you, Simp. Simp gets it. Might have heard wrong. No, listen, it's entirely possible that I messed up Yomi. Yomi. Alright. We're gonna read it. Yes, wow. Indeed. I'll make my lady go. Oh. Okay. Alright. I think this is a sign that I need to read and rehenge myself. I will not go. Oh my god. What's up, Sorbs? It's nice to see you back, buddy. I hope you're doing well. We're currently rehenging and about to start a story. I think we're also talking about how so I am as well, and praising me for it. No, pay me. No, there's a reason it's not a redeem. I think do I have the aura? I do have an aura, so if you want to save for that, that's as close as you're gonna get, buddy. I'm sorry. Even that is a compromise. Stream, yeah, it's just starting, and I'm seeing my friends. It's nice. I'm happy that you're doing okay. Oh my god, throw away. Why have you done this, bro? I thought we're buds. Okay. One moment. Let me cough. Okay. Alright. That's done with. It's over. Hey, of course you are, Sue. You're the best. I know you are. Such a good girl. Well, that's nice. Does it sound like a carryover from Nova? 'Cause F. Maybe I'll try to change it. Maybe we'll make it happy and say so. Ara. No, never mind. I'll experiment on my own. Yeah. That was so nice. I'm happy I liked it. Well, that gives me a horrible idea. I should definitely have a cat puke redeem in which yeah, we're doing it. This is who we are today. Yeah, it'd be like 30 points. Anybody can redeem it. No cooldowns. Let me puke in your ears, mommy. Let me puke in your ears, daddy. Oh, whoa. I don't know if it's relaxing. I love it though. I'm so glad. You do that, I'll make you choke for a full stream. Listen, I'm not gonna. Okay, wait, never mind. Oh yeah, he's so. I really am. It's called skirting a line, you know, and we see the boundary, and we're getting that toe mighty close to it. But we're still say so. The problem's you. Get your mind out of the gutter. You're so naughty. Oh my god. Watch your mouth, kitty. Hey, yo. Oh, you're gonna make me. Oh, you know what you're doing. You know how that would make me react as a person. I'm on to you. I'm clocking you, man. You go in the timeout corner. Oh. We're gonna read so I can pull it in. I'm fine. Oh no, like not actually timing her out, but I'm chastising her in a say-so manner in a way she doesn't like. Oh. Remain on the road. Occasionally, you'll see other highways branching off Route 333. Do not take these. When you pass through towns, you may see side streets. Don't take these either. Any building along the main thoroughfare is permitted. Gas stations, truck stops, grocery stores, etc. Wandering through wilderness features is also permitted, though we do not advise this practice as it may distract from work-related activities. Do not, however, wander onto paved side streets. You will likely never wander back. Employee Handbook, Section 4B. Nightlife Novitz, right? No. No. Nah, never. Not here. Not fully. I'm preparing for tomorrow. I'm getting it out of my system so I can be a good boy tomorrow. That's what it is. Okay. Surprise, surprise. I'm alive. That shouldn't come as much of a shock. How could I have posted my last entry if I died? But I assure you, sitting in the driver's seat watching highway patrols screech away and the deadly dark clouds roll in, I wasn't entirely sure I was going to die. Randall seemed to think so. I was speaking to... Listen, we're tofu. We're hinged. We're contained and controlled. And I'm gonna stop that there. Oh, man. Brownish red drops pattered against my windshield. They rolled down the hood and dripped from the side mirrors. The drizzle soon turned into a shower, which soon turned into a downpour. Blood rain. That's the term I wish I could use. That it had stayed a simple deluge and then passed on overhead. Instead, it got worse. The wind picked up. My rig rocked side to side. A red bolt of lightning struck a faraway mountaintop. The weather transformed from a blood rain into the thing it truly was. A meat storm. Chunks of something splattered against the windows. They exploded, gore in every direction. Whole fingernails splattered the ground with the sound of hail. Loose, human-looking veins rained across the highway. I didn't bother with wipers. There was no surviving this, though I did try turning off the circulating air. Too late. By the time you smell manure on the road trip, it's always too late to close the windows. The stench of rotting flesh already filled my cab. Oh my god. Kuma, you're using that emote the correct way. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, a meat storm. Oh. See what I mean, Sue? What have you done to me? What have you done to me? You know, we generally read some horror here. And sometimes some cozy ones. Regional got here before my higher-up got here, and I had to lead the tour. Please hit him with your car. No, you deserve to live. I don't like you too much, Stilly. I'll hit you with some support. And a coffee. And maybe a nice warm hug. I think you deserve that at least. I hope your day does improve, though. Because F. I remember my first meat storm. Okay, Miksu. Oh my god. People here are unhinged. Not that I'm not, but I'm reading. I'm being a good reading boy. It was the most terrible, gory thing I'd ever seen. I should have asked who. What people had this gore been taken from? How could Route 333 possibly have caused so much death? I didn't ask this, though. Instead, I passively watched the disaster unfold, bodily at peace. Through the roar of the storm, I could make out something wailing through the back wall. The thing in the freight car was sobbing. This was it. I had taken this job on Route 333 to flee my old life. But you can't run from one thing without running towards another. This was the thing I'd been hurtling towards. It would be easy to. So easy just to sit there, recline back and wait. We carry into her tiny little self. I'll let you decide what that sound means, but oh, it ain't no cow. No, it's a person. I'm reading, and thank you still there. I appreciate it. My promise to help Tiff no longer mattered. My passion from the last few days flashed out of me as quickly as it had come, because in the end, this was the thing I truly wanted. An out. The end. A release. I didn't just accept it. I craved it. Oh, also, I forgot to do it. I'm sorry. Not can. Yeah. Not can. Yeah. Time to get out of bed, kick back with a can of beer. Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Morning drinking. It's something. Across the empty desert, larger body parts rained down. Legs, severed ears, fist-sized gelatinous globs I assumed were organs that burst on that back like cans of soup. Something slammed against my windshield. A rotting arm with each finger severed at the knuckle. It tumbled away, but too late. My crack spider-webbed out of the point of impact to match my side window. Any second now. And then another truck appeared through the storm. The tempest bore down. The other vehicle flickered between visible and hidden through sheets of blood rain. Where had it come from? There hadn't been anybody else. The weather had turned so quickly that I should have seen them beforehand in the distance. I watched as the rig slowed to a stop, just a short stretch of road away. The driver's side door flew open and a figure threw themselves out into the storm. But what happened next occurred in quick succession. There was a pop. The cab in front of the rig crumpled inwards like someone squeezing an empty soda can. The shriveled hood burst into flames but was put out by the rain. The enormous freight carrier collapsed inwards in much the same way, going from 3D to 2D in a millisecond. The entire vehicle groaned, teetered, then toppled to the side. Agreed. It's a cafe though. You know, gotta have cafe jazz. Coffee maker ain't working? That sucks, brother. Also, what's up, Saul? How you doing, buddy? My Dr. Pepper addiction is strong. Listen, that's one of the few sodas that I will drink. It's good. I love it. I support it. That, root beer, and Mountain Dew. Occasionally Fanta. Grape soda Fanta. That's the only good one. But yeah, I'm not much of a soda guy, but Dr. Pepper has it lives in my heart, for sure. Listen, when you come back, when I get my sweet little baby back, I will feed you and give you that. Yeah. You can call me doctor, because I need to pepper you with kisses. Dolly brain? I'm reading. Pounding on the window, Wait, no. Wait, yeah. It took me a beat to register what was happening. The other driver. The person. I unrolled my window. A nightmarish intro-laden person looked up at me. I couldn't even tell the gender. "What are you doing?" They screamed through the wind. "Get out of here." "What about you?" "What about me?" "You don't want to ride?" I yelled. "I'd love a ride, but I'm not asking for one, am I?" Was this a van buyer in a threshold situation? Why were they acting so odd? And despite the storm, and the crumpled truck, and the intestines raining from the sky, I experienced a jolt of fear. Was this the real way I died from using my phone? Had the road set up this whole elaborate situation to get me to let in this stranger? I hovered my hand above the gear shift. This was like Myra all over again. This person looked harmless, but they would kill me, or eat me, or any number of terrible things if I opened the door. Wasn't that one of the first rules? Never pick up hitchhikers? It clicked. "Get in," I screamed, and threw my door open. Blood and entrails splattered me. The trucker clambered up the side, scrambled over me, and collapsed in the passenger seat. "Took you long enough," they spat at me. I now realized. She wasn't a hitchhiker. She waited for me to offer a ride before coming in so I would know I could trust her. Maybe this was still a trick of Route 333. But I had gotten the sense that there were some rules even Ed couldn't break. She panted and clutched her chest. But when I just sat there, she pounded the dashboard. "Go, you idiot." I did. We peeled out and I careened the way that she'd come. "It shouldn't be lessening," she said after a minute. "It already got my rig. It should be appeased." The girl spotted my phone on the cup holder. "Oh my gosh, you haven't gotten rid of this yet." She unrolled the window and flicked it out into the storm. "Hey, that's my..." But I had good enough sense to shut up. "Really, Brandon?" I chided myself. Priorities. We drove. Within minutes, the storm had lessened. Empty livers and lungs lightened to spleens and eyeballs. Eventually, everything solid stopped falling. The rust-colored rain diluted until it was clear, pure water. Maybe by the time we stopped, my truck would be semi-clean. The inside, however, would not be. In the passenger seat, the girl dripped with blood. Sinuous intestinal bits dangled from her chin. A bottle of what looked like stomach bile pooled at her feet from a fleshy pouch that had gotten tangled in her hair, and warm, rotting carcass filled the air. She spat repeatedly. It's in my mouth." "Do you want to tell? There should be one." She tore the top sheet of my sleeper bed. I bit my tongue. She'd just been through something traumatic. She deserved to do whatever she ripped off the rest of the blankets. "Okay," I said. "I seriously just offered you a... What kind of idiot uses their phone?" You owe me the truck, by the way. You're lucky I was there to take the fall out of your stupid decisions." "Well, you're lucky I was there to pick you up," I shot back. "I would be fine if you hadn't been there. Again, you were the one on the phone." There wasn't any other option. It was the only way to get rid of the cops. "You were speeding, too?" I forced myself to take 3 deep breaths. Why were we arguing? Here we were, strangers covered in entrails, almost having died in the worst possible way imaginable, and already arguing about who to blame. For the record, my vote's on Randall. I wasn't even totally sure we were out of the danger zone yet. "Pull over," she said. "What? Why?" "Just pull over." I did, and she retched out the window. She wiped her mouth and recomposed herself. Okay, let's go. One sec. I leaned out my window and puked myself. We both took another few turns. It was like we'd been holding it out until this moment, and set back out, ignoring the persistent smell of death. She wrung out her hair into my seat. The showers of the town just past that ridge. I've driven this way before. I don't think I remember any towns nearby. Not for you, no. Where do you think I came from? I'm lane locked. I stared at her questioningly. Don't you know anything about how this road works? She asked. We're going my speed now. Otherwise, every lane-locked driver could just get a ride back to civilization with a faster driver. I was just in the town an hour ago. Thanks for the pat, buddy. Enjoy your day. Anxious, but I'm getting coffee as we speak. Oof. I hope it serves you well, and enjoy your study, Kuma. It was nice to see you. The explanation made sense. Otherwise, rescuing people like Tiff would be easy. It also explained why I hadn't seen her rig before she'd appeared in the storm. She had been in her own pocket of the road I hadn't accessed yet. The further we drove, the more unfamiliar the landscape appeared. We were only about a day from civilization, but I had never driven here. In the far-off distance were familiar mountains, but they were smaller than I had ever seen them, hours away rather than minutes. And the cars, I realized, were no longer the only ones on the road. Jeeps and minivans rushed occasionally from the opposite direction, filled with families and couples. The other drivers had mentioned this would happen once the road elongated enough. It would start filling with other traffic, but I hadn't spent much brain power on it. That point was still months away from me. I had gotten used to the eeriness of the empty road. This sudden fullness was even eerier. You're new, aren't you? The girl asked. This is all still fresh to you. It is. I'm Autumn, by the way. Brendan. Well, Brendan, you're officially the first real person I've talked to this year. And you've done a splendid job reaffirming my hopes you're the last person I talked to this year. I'm really sorry about your truck. Does Randall know about you? I paused. He probably thinks I'm dead by now. Hand me the radio, would you? Radio? What? Autumn felt her leg in the pool of liquid. She pulled out the dripping handheld and attempted switching it all. Bad news. Thank you, Yumi. The town was quaint. I wondered if the variety of the town was different for lane-locked individuals, a consolation prize of sorts, or if we'd gotten lucky. There was a main street with hanging flowers from every light post, and a farmer's market at a nearby park full of running children. Best of all, though, the truck stop showers. After my experience at Tiff's Diner, I resolved to never shower on the road again. After a day like today, though, despite what the employee handbook says, some rules are meant to be broken. I've spent a whole hour scrubbing Ep.48 and bits of rotten skin from my nails and hair. Even when I was done, I could smell dying carcass, but I spread myself with gas station air conditioner and we called it good. Autumn had used the rest of my clothes on our drive to wipe herself down, so I bought an extra large I Heart Beer shirt. I'm a medium, for the record. This one was the only one left. Thank you, Sal. After a few minutes later, Autumn emerged from the shower rooms as well. You're staring, she said. And I was. You look different. Then when I was covered in literal human secretions? Yeah, I do. She gave me the once-over. You look about the same. Then she stalked off imperiously before I could retort. Thank you very much, Jellyfish Queen. Appreciate you. And one hand here, and the other one on the other side, and a little forehead kiss to thank you. Thank you, Jellyfish Queen. Thank you. What I hadn't said, though, the real reason I was staring was this. Autumn looked undeniably like Myra. I don't point that out to say I was attracted to her. I can already imagine the comment section. Please, just don't. But it caught me off guard to be reminded of Myra like that. I'd finally stopped thinking about my ex-girlfriend, and here she was, on the road for the second time. Route 333 was mocking me. I spent hours scrubbing out my cab. By evening, it looked mainly clean, but the smell was baked into the seats. Absolutely wonderful. It wasn't like I had 8 more days of my trip ahead of me. Autumn didn't offer to help, which was pretty understandable. I'd gotten her truck destroyed, and now what? I was just going to abandon her in this little town without transportation? She did, however, show up once evening was sat and leaned against the side of the trailer. She couldn't have been much older than me, maybe younger. There's a motel down the street, she said. Not the coziest place, but you don't have to go down any side streets, so it's allowed. I stayed there all this week. It's cleaner than your sleeper, and not all towns are as docile at night as during the day. How long have you been stuck out here? I asked. Her expression darkened. Take another shower. You reek worse than before. She marched away before I could respond. This was the second time she had done that. I paused at the back of the freight before following her. Sorry about today, I whispered. I'm sure you didn't ask to get caught in the meat storm. I suspect you didn't ask to be stuck in the trailer either. She said nothing. I leaned closer. Do you want to come out? They merely sniffed. That night was the best sleep I'd gotten on the road. Under any other circumstances, I would have been stressed beyond belief. Could the faceless man get into the motel rooms? What about highway patrol? Was there nothing in the employee handbook against sleeping outside of our vehicles? But I'd escaped most of my experiences here by merely hiding in the cab. Sleeping outside of it felt somehow wrong. I gave myself permission to relax. Autumn didn't seem concerned and had been entirely ready to die earlier. Why should I freak out now? In the morning, I experienced something I hadn't for months. Feeling rested. I grabbed an apple from the open breakfast area and headed outside for a walk around the parking lot. The morning sun colored the clouds pink and orange. It's always been fascinating to me. The fact that in photos, sunsets and sunrises look nearly identical. The only difference is the direction. Brendan, my world. Randall waved at me from an alley just beyond the parking lot. His face was a mask of relief and fatigue. I blinked. You're okay, he said. We weren't sure after you stopped responding. We thought, but we weren't sure. I came straight here. Haven't slept all night. I blinked again. He pulled out a radio. Gloria, we found him. He's alright. He ended up in Autumnstown. Brendan, come here. Say hi so she knows you're okay. I told him I had. I walked forward to the lip of the side street. I'm good, I said. We survived. She can't hear you. Here. He offered the radio in one hand. I didn't walk forward. Brandon, take it. Lucky you found me, I said. Tell me about it. None of the other truckers knew where you ended up. They told me not to come, but I had to search. And this seemed like the most likely area. You're really fine. The cargo's okay? Cargo is fine. Autumn's truck got obliterated, though. You and I can go back in yours. She could take my car. Here, I'll show you. Randall gestured for me to follow him down the alley. I stayed put. What is it? I asked. Sorry? The thing in my trunk, the living thing. Why do you all want it so badly? I'm not sure what you're... Oh, please. That Myra clone was much more convincing than your sorry self. I've made mistakes before, but I'm not an absolute idiot. For a beat, just one, Randall looked offended. Then his expression dropped. He sneered in a cold, loathing fashion I have never seen with real Randall. It doesn't belong to you, Stone Dweller. No. But I don't think my cargo belongs to you either. At least I can take it where I want. That's right, isn't it? You can't come here onto the main road. It scowled without answering. Try better next time. We will devour you. Maybe, I said. But not yet. I pulled an Autumn and strolled away before I could reply. What's up, Sonoma? And sup, how you doing? Because I don't know. Sup, how you doing? Because I don't know. He missed RLRs and some interesting things, but nothing serious. She found me behind my trailer. I don't know how she knew to look for me there, or why she even was looking for me, but when Autumn found me, that's where I was. I contemplated the blood-spattered cargo doors. Don't, she told me. Don't what? You're a terrible liar. I know what you're thinking about doing, but it's not worth it. You know what's inside. Nova briefly took control, but we got Tofu back now. No, I was still Tofu. Nova never took control. It would have been much worse. I was restrained. I did good. I'm praising myself. She shoved her hands into a set of baggy pockets. Management sucks. I knew this Randall you keep talking about. He's the worst. He really is, but that doesn't mean that whatever's in there isn't dangerous. Terrible people can still be in charge of good causes. What if we're the ones hurting it? I asked. What if I'm the only one that can help it? Savior complex much? That's not... When you let me into your truck, you were just sitting there. It looked like you were just waiting for the end. Just focus on keeping yourself alive for now. Alright? How did I explain that was the issue? That when there was another person or thing that needed me, I could put my foot on the pedal and drive. But when it was just me, alone, with nobody. I was about to voice this, but before I could, Autumn shrugged and, you guessed it, strolled away. That would get annoying quick. I didn't open the truck. Not that day. But I did stop by it before I headed out to the rest, my hand on the cool metal. I'll protect you, I whispered. Wherever we're going. I promise you'll at least make it. The next time there was a storm, I would drive. Oh, well, that does it for that one. It's pretty cool. And double headbands, okay. peppers are off today. Oh well. Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Flower Cow. This title is wild, and it's piqued my interest, and it's a little long. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a series, though, so that's cool. We can chat for a little bit if you guys want to chat. But this one is titled Yesterday, my fiance and I went for a hike in a forest. When I returned, I learned I was missing for 10 years. Yeah, pretty much. I have been up since 3 a.m. I live off of coffee. Yeah, that's how I survive. Am I okay? Yeah. I generally wake up anywhere from like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. And but sometimes I'll go to sleep anywhere from like 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. It depends. We get generally adequate sleep, but coffee does heavy lifting. I was driving, but I gotta take a moment to appreciate the devour moment. Hey, yo? What you mean? Excuse me. He was keeping me company while I got ready for work. Yeah, we was chatting. I don't know. Coffee doesn't keep me awake anymore. Listen to me. If it's like one of the days where coffee, and it rarely does this, but like where it's not causing anxiety, like I made a full pot this morning. It's nearly done, but like literally right after stream, I could fall asleep. I think maybe that's part of the problem. Sleep quality is bad because I'm so caffeinated, so I drink more caffeine in order to stay awake and feel alert. And it's just a vicious cycle. But I've given up cigarettes. And I think for a while, given up the drink, if you will, temporarily. Not a lifelong thing. Never. But for now, yeah. So how you doing? Because I don't know. You are such a cool guy. Such a wild and rambunctious fellow. Such an eepy, tiny or yeah. And I'm praising you for it. I don't know what it meant. I don't know why I chose the word or. It makes no sense, but all the same, that's you. And I'm praising you for it. There's your daily praise. What's up next? Coffee? Yay. And stretch. Thank you, body. Good day. I'm gonna go eat to your lovely voice. Have good sleep. Have good sleep. Okay. Well, I suppose that's our sign to begin a new story. So, now we start. Yesterday, my fiance and I went for a hike in the forest. When I returned, I learned I was missing for 10 years. Bum bum. Have you ever spent years of your life with someone just to find out none of it was real? I had met Andrew when I was 22, working as a bartender for a shitty hole-in-the-wall bar. He was an incredibly outgoing individual that effortlessly brightened the day of anyone who was within 15 feet of him. He had made the lonely closing shift of a Dead Tuesday enjoyable, and after I got off work, we met up for coffee and waffles at a nearby diner. The chemistry we had was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, and it wasn't long before we began dating. Andrew became my rock, and I could always rely on to keep me grounded when the rest of the world was caught up in a squall of chaos. He embraced my love of B-movie horror, and I accepted his enthusiasm for the outdoors after weeks of convincing on his part. Wait, what? Oh. Andrew was the life of the party, and while there were times that I just wanted to stay in and binge slasher movies, he would tease me for being a homebody and drag me out of the house to meet up with one of his never-ending swats and social circles for bowling, laser tag, house parties, or his absolute favorite, the late-night hike through the forest that stood behind the bar I worked at when we had met. It had been a major milestone for me when I quit the bar 6 months after Andrew and I met. With his support and encouragement, I started my own business in a niche field that I was actually passionate about. While money isn't the best, I love the work I do. And even the worst days are still better than having to mop up body waste from someone who had too much to drink. At a 40th anniversary showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Andrew proposed to me during the "damn it, Janet" scene. His collection of friends, who had grown on me fast and became my friends as well, hooted and cheered for us and took us out for celebratory drinks after the show. Since that chance encounter 2 years previously, my life had become my own personal heaven. The work I did now was fulfilling. I had an amazing new group of friends. I was now engaged to the best man I had ever met. Oh no, this sounds like where I'm at currently, pretty much. So hopefully my outcome will be different than theirs. Hey, I found the perfect place we should go to for a nice picnic and hike, Andrew told me as I was grabbing the last load of laundry from the ancient dryer in Andrew's basement. I was hoping that we could just stay in for the day, Andy. Since I moved in, it feels like we have been going non-stop, I replied, tired, but not annoyed at the suggestion. After his proposal, I moved into Andrew's 2-bedroom house. It was quaint, but there always seemed to be another little project that needed to be tackled. With both of our work schedules, there never seemed to be enough time in the day to fix all of the little quirks the house had. "Oh, come on, Chrissy," he said, wrapping his arms around me and giving me the side of my neck a kiss. Wouldn't it actually be nice to enjoy the 3-day weekend we have to get out and have some personal time together? I groaned. Wait, nope. I moaned as the soft lips and blonde facial hair brushed against the side of my neck. Alright, I guess it would be nice to spend some time together. Just the two of us. Despite moving in together, we hardly had any time to ourselves. The mass of friends, you're very welcome, throw away, it needed to be done. The mass of friends were constantly inviting us over and out to celebrate the engagement and to offer help with planning the wedding. It had left us little time to ourselves, and the chance to be alone in nature would be nice. This place we're going has a nice little spring with a few nooks and crannies out of the side of the main trails. Andrew informed me as he hurriedly threw supplies into his hiking bag. The mischievous look on his face made my face redden. "Andy, you're a naughty boy," I said before playfully swatting at his butt. He returned the gesture with a pinch of my own before tossing the bag over his shoulder and nearly dragging me to my car. During the 3-hour drive to the national park that we would be hiking through, I had dozed off. As we finally arrived, Andrew woke me with an excited expression. "Okay, Stelly, thank you for that, Pat. One hand here, and one hand here, and then a little forehead kiss for you." Here we are, miles and miles of trails, a chance to really connect with nature. He beamed with a smile that brought one to my own face. "Where did you even hear about this place?" I asked, shaking the last of sleep from my eyes before sitting forward. "Sam and Frankie were telling us about it the last time we went bowling. Don't you remember?" "Not really. With all the friends we had and ideas tossed around, it's hard to keep track of everything." "Lucky for you, I have a still gauge for a mind," he responded, lightly tapping his temple with a finger. "More like a rusty bear trap," I teased as I mocked a rusty trap clothing with my hands. We shared a laugh before he parked and we went out for our hike. Andrew had planned a long trek that would bring us to the car a little before dark. I was glad I had worn an old outfit so that I wouldn't have to worry about getting covered in mud. When I asked about who would be doing the driving back home after we hiked all day, and he eased my worry with a promise of a stay at the motel we had passed 20 minutes before we arrived. A place I would have seen had I not fallen asleep. With satisfaction at his call ahead and carefully laid plans, we set off into the forest. Our day, just the two of us. I didn't plan on it, but I think I'm going to take a nap. This is too cozy. Yay. I'm glad. You enjoy your nap, and yeah, I might be joining you guys in a little bit. I'll probably get something to eat, prepare for repo, but I do want a nap. Isn't that the same outfit you wore when we met? Andrew asked, his eyes feasting up and down my body. Yeah, I thought I'd just throw on some old clothes since you wanted to go for an intense hike, I replied, snapping my fingers to get his attention. Yeah, I thought I'd just throw on some old clothes. Wait, no, party with that. We both laughed as we ventured further down the trails. An odd thing I noticed when we hiked was the strange absence of other people while we hiked. "I thought you wanted some time together, not with a horde of others," Andrew said as we stopped at the top of the cliff, with an old picnic table for people to rest before beginning their descent towards the spring. Of course I want time without a ton of other people. I just think it's strange that we haven't seen anyone else while we've been here. I mean, it is a holiday weekend. You would think we would have passed by some other wilderness enthusiasts or gung-ho parents, dragging their kids along to get away from technology for once in their life. This is a pretty big place. We probably have passed by others, but just didn't notice them, Andrew said as he set his bag down on the table and stretched his arms. I smiled as he took off his shirt and stretched his taut form. I took a few steps towards him and gave him a peck before I spoke again. "Take a picture with me," I said, leaning against him and fishing my phone from my pocket. As he wrapped an arm around me, I lifted the phone up and took a picture of us. As I went to take another, a large buck jumped out from behind a nearby tree, startling us both. In slow motion, I watched as my phone leapt from my hands and down the cliffside to the unwelcoming arms below. With a faint crack from below, I could feel my heart drop into my stomach. Oh man, I dropped my phone. That stupid deer made me drop my phone. I could kill that thing, I yelled out in frustration. Also heavily censored. The writing of this just sounds like that kid who is not allowed to cuss, but wants to try it out. It's so bad. Coffee has not cured the anxiety, and I don't want to go back. Yeah, coffee will not always do that. But best of luck, Stilly. You've got today, you've got support. And you're thought about and held in high regard. So, that doesn't mean a lot, but you got this. I believe in you. You can do it. Yeah. Yeah. We'll throw you a James Hetfield, Metallica styled, yeah. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope that pushes you through. I know my husband is already planning for me to get home. Nice. Props to Carl. Props to Carl. Hell yeah. You go, brother. I just realized I haven't used my Prime sub this month. Oh, oh. Thank you very much, buddy. It's very much appreciated. And with the sub, if you want it, is a forehead kiss. So thank you. One hand here, the other here, and I appreciate you, buddy. Save it for someone better, Silly. Whoa there, I think you might have broken a commandment there, Andrew said, placing a hand on my shoulder. I'm glad you think this is such a joke, Andrew. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. I'm sure we'll be able to recover any photos that are on your phone, plus it was old anyways. I'm pretty sure you've had the same phone since we met. I know you've been wanting to upgrade for a while, but haven't really had a chance, he said as diplomatically as he could. We made our way down to where we were sure the phone had fallen, and luckily we were able to find it. The phone had dived straight into the soft embrace of rocks and branches, and the shattered screen was more than enough evidence of how useless it would be. Andrew pulled a plastic bag that had once contained trail mix and placed the destroyed phone inside before stashing it in his hiking pack. You're one of the only people I regularly attend? Most of my subs are gifts. Oh. Thank you, man. Thank you. That touches me stilly. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tofu is a good subbing target? Yeah, you me. We are all subs for Tofu? No, we're all coffee drinkers and friendly enthusiasts, and that's say so little beans. I'm summoning my inner space fish with that one. Oh yeah. Nova only has. Or wait, never mind. I'm gonna just shut up real quick. Just accept your soft dom status. Okay, sure. I wouldn't call it that, but if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. Coffee shop quartet, yes. Rolled over to say, I can't drink coffee, so I'm just a turbo sub. But fair enough. You're appreciated here, no matter if one subs or not. I'm happy for the banter. I'm happy to get to know you. I'm happy to have someone to read to, and to hopefully make Phil a little bit more at ease. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm after, man. That's its own reward. The friendly neighborhood kitty cat boy tofu with the sweet voice and good coffee. I'm aged. Thank you, you owe me. Yes, that's what I meant to say. That's the official PR. That's our press release. Scratch what I said. That's what I said. I would drink coffee, but alas, it's literally midnight in Japan. Fair enough. Fair enough. Drink coffee in spirit. There's always decaf, brother. Brother. No, I'm just picking. Yeah, it doesn't have to be coffee. Cafes have different things too, you know. Okay, sure. Yeah. Nikoni. Best of luck, Stilly. You got it. And take comfort in that you have a lovely man waiting for you when you get home that is going to make sure that you're taken care of. It's more than what some people can say, and it's something to treasure and hold deeply. You got it. You got it. Thanks, Yumi. Cute. I drink black coffee with condensed milk. I drink black coffee, although I wouldn't mind condensed milk in it. There's much more I want to say. And I know somebody out there catches my drift. And I'll leave it at that. Can't squirt me. Oh my god. Oh my. I need to stream as Nova at some point. And whoa. No, Sue, you're on the right track. No, don't be disappointed in me, mommy. Please, love me. Yeah. I'm reading. Good, thank you. First thing tomorrow, we'll go get you a brand new phone. The best one they have. Even if it means I gotta sell a kidney to get it for you. Andrew said, trying to cheer me up. Oblivious, obviously aware of my disappointment at losing the collection of memories of our life together that had been gathered on my phone. We continued on towards the springs, crossing over an old wooden bridge that creaked. They wrote created. They creaked and groaned with every step as we crossed over it. The entirety of the short time we spent crossing it, my whole body was on edge at the overwhelming sensation of the bridge threatening to collapse at any moment. The momentary hazard passed. We found our way to a pleasant spring resting beside a cliffside. The gurgle of water leaking out and falling down onto the rocks below created a serene background besides the rustling wind and crunching of leaves and twigs as we approached it. Leaning forward, Andrew cupped his hand and brought a handful of spring water towards his mouth before sipping at it. Are you sure we should be drinking that? I asked, thinking about what things could be contained in the water. You drink spring water that's bottled with millions of microplastics in it. At least this is straight from the source, Andrew said as he splashed his face with the spring water. You know, there is a little overhang here that we could... Andrew trailed off as he made a gesture with his hands. I'm not really feeling up to it. I'm still irritated about dropping my phone and don't think I'm in the right headspace for that, I said, noticing a momentary flash of rage cross Andrew's face before it shifted into an understanding look of disappointment. Well, you should at least try this water. He gestured to the water as he spoke before glancing absently in the distance. I tried a small sip of it, but the taste was heavy with a strange metallic taste. Rage? Yeah, right? I'm with you, Sue. I'm with you. Just before I was about to comment, Andrew was already stepping off towards the trail. When we approached another bridge, I insisted that Andrew lead the way as it spanked across a rather steep decline. I don't like whoever wrote this. I'm sure they're fine. I don't like the writing that much. It's weird. After he proved the structural integrity of it, I began crossing for myself. Just as I made it halfway through, a horrid crack from the wood echoed through the air. As I fell through the bridge, my hand stretched out to catch myself. The nails of my left hand dug into the wood before being ripped out as my weight jerked my body below. In the briefest of moments, I looked out towards Andrew. A malicious smile greeted me as I tumbled towards the earth below and was embraced by darkness. As I regained consciousness, I was greeted with the sight of a stag skull wrapping its long tongue around the bleeding fingers of my left hand. I screamed out in terror, only to be greeted with Andrew's worried face gracefully holding my bandaged left hand. "Thank God you're okay," Andrew said, slowly setting my hand down and helping me sit forward. My clothes caked in dirt, and a long tear down the right side of my jeans with scrapes and cuts leading to the missing shoe on my right foot. I tried to reply, but he hushed me to conserve my energy. He told me that he was going to climb back up and try to call for help as he didn't have any signal where we were. I tried to beg him to help me back up, but he was already walking away before I could form the words. I raised my undamaged hand to my head and was greeted with a sharp pain on the left side of my head and a small wet patch of blood. Panic racing through my body, I forced myself to my feet. It felt like hours since Andrew had called for help, and it was now well into the night. I stumbled my way through the overgrowth and began the slow ascent up the hillside, back towards the trail. Upon finally reaching the trail, surrounded by in the darkness of night, I looked around for any trace of Andrew, only to be greeted with silence. The sounds of wind or wildlife were missing, but the only audible noise was my labored breathing and rapid heartbeat drumming in my ears. Dragging my way back to the spring, I greedily drank from the water, ignoring the odd aftertaste. I guess the water is probably spiked with something, maybe? I don't know. Glancing at a small pool of water at my feet, the shadowy reflection I saw was the skeletal form of myself. I turned away as tears filled my eyes. Pain rippled through my body as I shambled through the dark, my head swimming as my vision blurred. "Chrissy, where are you?" Andrew yelled out in the distance before he rounded the corner, coming into view. Calling out for me, and Andrew's voice was an 8-foot monster. Legs bent backwards, connected to a skeletal torso draped in baggy flesh that stretched and shifted to attempt to mimic the human form. The swollen and bulbous head had 2 antlers poking out as the mouth of broken teeth cluttered together in the attempt to form a smile as the thing hunched over to greet me. I was stunned into silent horror as the beast with Andrew's voice reached out to me. "You had me so worried," the familiar voice struggled to say through gnarled teeth as short hands wrapped around my wrist. I yanked my hands back as adrenaline scattered my body away from the demented form. I ran away, heart pounding, panic and tears blurring my vision almost as much as the leaves and branches that smacked my face as I escaped in a direction that I hoped would lead to freedom. Atop the cliffside, where I had dropped my phone, I paused long enough to catch my breath. Leaning against the picnic table was an old metal trekking pole with electrical tape wrapped around the well-worn-out handle. I grabbed the ancient hiking stick and leaned against it before starting back out of the woods when Andrew pulled himself over the cliffside. Without blinking, I brought the brass mud tip of the pole down to Andrew's amorphous face, knocking a chunk of flesh, clay, off in the process. Andrew dropped to his knees with flakes of ash rising from his body. The blob of his head formed into a grainy recreation of the face I had stared into for countless hours since we met at the bar all those years ago. "I love you," spoken to me in a voice familiar to that of an animal mimicking the words of a person. Smoke rose from the missing chunk in his head before his body fell into a confusing blend of shapes I couldn't decipher. Tears streamed from my eyes. I turned away from my fiancée and fled from the forest around me. As I shuffled past the edge of the forest, I was greeted with the familiar sight of the bar I had met Andrew at so long ago. A small group of people smoking outside noticed me immediately and rushed over to me as I collapsed. As the last of adrenaline spent, as safety from my living nightmare finally embraced me. I'd been missing for 10 years. On that magical night I had met Andrew and thought I had begun an amazing life with my soulmate. I had, in reality, closed the bar after an empty night and walked directly into the forest behind the bar in a trance-like state. When my car was found the following morning by the bar owner, she called my phone to see if I was having car troubles the night before. When I didn't answer, she checked the security footage to find me walking off into the forest. Her concern heightened as the grainy video displayed a strange shadowy figure at the edge of the tree, seemingly luring me towards it. For 6 months, they searched the forest only to find my damaged phone and my lost shoe. The worst was assumed, and my missing persons poster had circulated the state, but after all these years, I was assumed dead. Miraculously, I had somehow survived, vastly malnourished at 70 pounds. Patches of missing hair, several poorly healed scars littered my body. The worst of which were the scars on my wrist and ankles that reminded me too much of rope burn scars, the implications as terrifying as the monstrous forms Andrew had taken. There had never been an Andrew. I try to tell myself that every day, but I still have all these amazing memories of someone who truly loved me and all the memories we created together with friends. When I have explained the memories I have of the time since I left the bar all those years ago, I have been told it's my mind trying to protect itself, creating an imaginary world where everything was perfect to shield me from the hell I was actually living. Even as those memories begin to fade, and I accept the reality that there never was an Andrew, I still miss him. I loved Andrew. He was my soulmate. And when I wake up drenched in sweat from the night terrors of that final hike, one thought still lingers. What would have happened had I continued the fantasy with Andrew? Would I have ever escaped? Or would I still be lost in the forest? Yeah, I didn't care much for that one. It jumped around too much. It was no. Still better writing than I could do probably. So I'm not like, knocking. I'm just saying it's not up my alley. I did not. Not a big fan. What's up, Annie? How you doing, bro? How you living? Hope you're doing well. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Head out to grab a bite before class. Eat something good. I won't, but I hope you do. Glad I got to stick around for more than 30 minutes this time. Me too, buddy. And again, you got a life to live. You got things to do. That's understood. I'm happy I can see you when I see you, bro. Take care. Have a good day. I hope everything goes good. I'll see you in the Discord. Strength. Agreed. Strength. Doing so, sir. First uni lecture was today. Don't feel bad, though. Did another stream today? Feels weirdly nice to talk about random stuff and draw. Kind of see why people stream. Yeah, dude, streaming's nice. Especially when you get, just a few. That's all it takes. Just even a couple of people that you really enjoy talking to, that you feel comfortable around, and that you vibe with. Streaming's really fun. I remember I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. And yeah, it was a rough start. I didn't have any direction for what I wanted either. So it's been fun, like that journey, but also it's just been nice, like the people that you meet. Some stay, others go. That's life, and it is what it is. But overall, like, yeah, I think streaming is a lot of fun. I very much enjoy it. You get people like you, Annie. You get people like you. What were you drawing? And did you have any weird conversations? That's my question. No, that's it. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? You guys genuinely make it fun, and yeah. Yeah. What's up, Roma? Yeah. I will go grab more coffee. I'm not gonna go to the Be Right Back screen. You can watch my model lose his mind. It'll take 2 minutes, but let me refill the coffee, and we can have that sip together, buddy. I'll be right back. Oh my. Oh, let's see, what did I miss? Nah, I don't get many viewers. So I was just yapping to myself. Still fun though. Would be more stress if I actually listen. I think that's one thing anyone that's ever tried streaming can relate to is the self yapping. It's a weird thing, man. Like thinking back when I first started, because when I was with Nova, that was my first channel. I actually started out as a flesh tuber, and I would do like pretty much black metal reviews, and like chill out and play what games I could. I really couldn't stream and do games, and yeah, and I did like a lot of narration. I think I originally started to. I'm like one of those people that plays a game, but I won't ever beat it. I'll jump to another game. So I think initially the channel was started because like, streaming seems cool, and it'll give me a reason to actually beat games, which kind of worked with Final Fantasy 1 and almost 2. I think that's been it, really. And yeah, I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, like the self-talking is something that everyone goes through. The other reason I started it too was like to at the time promote like voice acting stuff, because I had rolled a d20, got really drunk, rolled a d20, quit my job to pursue voice acting without having anything or knowing what I was doing. And it's worked out so far. For April will be 3 years, I think. But yeah, then I randomly found VTubing. I saw a video of Mouse and Connor playing like some crab shooting game. And I didn't, even then I didn't realize VTubing was a thing. I was like, oh, that's a really interesting and unique idea. Have a little model that represents you. I like it. I like it. Anime. But no, it was the thing. And I'm like way late to the party. And then I like shifted, I guess, to VTubing. And as I got to meet more people, I stuck with like narration and stuff, and we chat, play some games. Kind of shifted more into that. And then we did the whole. I started with the sauce arc, and a lot of self-exploration with wonderful people. That was an interesting time too. One I wouldn't change, but it was fun. It was fun, and now here we are. Nova's back to gaming, and I'm doing Say-So ASMR, being a good boy for the most part. Also, Romar, the whole reason I left was to get coffee so we can have that sip together. So let me stop rambling, and let's have that sip. It's gonna be a small one. I think it's still very hot. 1, 2, 3. It still tastes like milky and not burnt. That's really cool. That's nice. Maybe I did something right today. I don't know. Do you think my model's having a stroke? Yeah, I have some dot hack posters behind me. And I think it tries to like, recognize their faces as mine. So it just kind of jumps around. Sometimes it's not so bad. I wonder if that's really the case. I have no clue. When you're adding the freak out emote, you put it in the server, didn't you, Naomi? I feel like I might have saved it, but maybe I didn't. If you did put it in the server, I will open up Discord, find it, and do that now because I'm gonna forget. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. Somebody save him. I've been saved. I'd like to introduce you to our friend and Lord and Savior. Me. Oh. No, not really. I'm just pecking. As for the drawing, it's a fan art. I have promised to draw for a streamer, so I was working on that. Very nice, bro. Very nice. I respect the artist. I respect the artist. I've tried it, and I will not be good. But yeah. What's the emergency number for VTubers? I don't know, man. I might as well get the coffin. No, I'm alive. I'm alive. Everything's good. I promise. He's back with his coffee. I am. I live. The self-yapping goes hard, though. Yeah. We've all struggled with it, for sure. What was really cool about it, too, was, like, it's just something you get used to. Like, before this, I wouldn't really talk too much. I'm not a very talkative person. But since streaming, like, I'm more, I'll hold more casual conversations in real life, and won't just end them when I get bored, which is usually pretty quick. So yeah, it's kind of neat, if you're an introvert, if you're not a super talky person, just like streaming, at least in my experience, like, not that I need help with it or that it was a problem, but it'll make you, it'll allow you to wear the mask of being a little bit more sociable and pleasant, if that's what you decide to do. If that makes sense. Oh, you're really cool. Not gonna lie. Me? I think you must be mistaken, buddy, but if it's directed to me, thank you very much. I think you're pretty cool too. Yeah. Thanks for that, Patso. I never had an interest in VA stuff until I auditioned for something recently. It was a lot of fun to do. It did. What did you audition for? Character roles can be a lot of fun if you can, like, relax and, let yourself get comfortable and explore. Most of the stuff that I do is like narrations. which I like. I think it's fun. It's kind of preferred because it's easier, and yeah, it's just easier, right? Like the most demanding thing I have to do is like a true crime voice, and it's, you know, that one comes naturally. I think like darker tones and stuff like that. But character stuff's a lot of fun. Character thoughts are a lot of fun. I'll send a DM. Okay, let me go ahead and open up Discord. If the fan becomes too loud, just bear with me. It'll shut itself up. But I gotta do what Boss Bun says. Boss Bun has my best interests in heart. So I'll go along with most things. Oh yes, I think I saved it. Let me make sure I save it again though. Because I think I put it in the tofu folder. But where did I put it in the tofu folder? Under animated? No, but we'll put it there. Okay. It be saved by the grace of God. And now we X off of Discord. And oh, I see you're leaving, Eloise. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. It is nice to see you. And I will see you later on when we play Repo. Have a good day, little mushroom. I thought you were going to say, saved by the grace of Sue. Or someone else save you. No, listen. We've known each other very briefly. But you already know me well enough. Because, yeah, that was the initial thing. But I was like, no. She's expecting it too. I gotta throw her for a loop. I can't be Mr. Predictable over here. You know? We'll call it zoomies. And I will do the emote attribution for a Yumiba. And I don't think it'll be approved by the stream, but if it is, then you will have a new animated emote very shortly. Thank you, Yumi, for your help and for giving me that. And yeah, I'm sorry I'm so forgetful, but thank you for always having my back and for always supporting me. It's mutual, and I am very thankful. So, thank you, Bonnie. Miani. Wait, come on. What am I? No. It was an indie audio drama. Okay. I didn't expect to enjoy the audition process too much. Listen, like, whenever I was, like, really worried and struggling for, like, financial security and learning a little bit, like, I'm by no means professional. I remember going on CCC and, doing a lot of, like, unpaid and paid auditions. It was actually with this mic that I'm using now, which I use so I can do that, and it can still track the model pretty good. But yeah, there's obviously, like, I got some. I think I did manage to get one paid project where I was like a Harry Potter fanfic, and I played like a bandit and got like $15 from it or something. It was for a few lines. It was neat. It was cool. Since then, for like that sort of stuff, I've done like a gaming tutorial, like walkthrough, like a character, like that, some mods, some indie stuff, opening narration for some indie games, and yeah, it's cool. It is a lot of fun to go out there and try stuff. I think it's cool. It's cool. I'm happy that you're enjoying the process. If you need a place to try more stuff on, like if you found it through Twitter or Blue Sky, definitely recommend CCC, which is, I think it's Casting Call Club. It's kind of gone downhill a little bit, just like mainly with ads, and it's like oversaturated. But if you're doing it just to have fun, or if you stream and you want to make a fun stream out of it, like it's a pretty fun and easy way to go. Worst case scenario, you get to voice something that you didn't think you would. Yeah. Happy that you're enjoying it, though. The predictability, I'm not saving anyone. Wait, me? Or you, lady? Because I got some words to say about that. Hello, hello, been lurking? What's up, Coffee? A lovely name. Lovely name. It's so brave when people take the leap to pursue their passion. Yeah. It's, I don't know how brave it is. It was really just getting kind of fed up with life and something needed to change. And this seemed like the random thing to pursue. And realistically, I wouldn't be able to do this without my sweet and loving Aggie, my essentially wife. She's provided a huge safety net and security, especially in the beginning when things were rough, and even now. I'm able to pay my bills with this, thankfully. But she does provide a lot of support and care, as well as Sue here. I wouldn't, yeah, it would be a little bit more rough without her and her care and support. So, I'm a lucky guy. Very fortunate. And thankfully, rent is cheap. Rent is cheap when you split it 4 ways. Or 3 ways, I guess. Nyahaha. What's up, Sonny? Nyahoy. Nyahoy. Hope you're doing well. I'll check out CCC. I'm happy to do some unpaid projects. I'm just in it for fun. Nice. Well, you take your time with it. You let me know how it goes. Maybe I'll see you on there. I've been debating doing a stream here, or maybe with Nova, where I go back and just audition for a handful of random things that seem interesting. But it's a weird one to stream because like I have to have my my volume down a little bit to get into like the if it's like a yelly one, to make sure things don't peak or anything like that. But it's something I've been thinking about. Maybe not for this channel, but for the other one. Meow, meow, meow. Let's see. I guess we can find another story. But we gotta find a cool one. And then I will need to go eat. And chill a little bit before I repo with the girls. Or Monster Hunter, wherever we land, depending on who can join. Let's see if I don't think it would be. No. Okay. Yay. Yeah. Oh. Well. Here's the story where I think a title in which I think we can all relate to. /s. She swore I was nothing more than a hallucination created to test her. Bum bum. I used to think I was just in a bad relationship. Toxic. Controlling. The kind people warn you about. But now, I'm not even sure I was in a relationship at all. I don't know what to call it anymore. She was my girlfriend for almost 2 years. At first, she was everything I wasn't. Loud, funny, fearless. I'm quiet. Careful. The kind of guy who makes double checks of the door. Wait, the kind of guy who double checks the door lock twice before bed. She pulled me out of my shell. Made me feel seen. I fell hard. The all started small. Text me when you get there. Don't keep your phone on at night, it's bad for you. Don't say that word. Just trust me. No, Sue. It's different. God damn it. Love me. I left it off at first. I thought she was just quirky, protective, maybe a little paranoid. Nothing serious. But then things changed. She showed me pictures from her friend's birthday. I know I was there. I stood by the fridge half the night because it was too crowded in the living room. I remember holding my beer while people laughed around me. But when she scrolled through her phone, picture after picture, I wasn't in any of them, not even blurred in the background. I laughed nervously. Weird. I was right there. She tilted her head and smiled faintly. Maybe you just think you were. I said, no, I was literally standing next to you. Her smile didn't change. If you say so. My stomach dropped. A week later, I texted her that I'd be home late from work. When I got back, she was cold, distant. You didn't tell me you'd be late, she said. Yeah, I did. I pulled out my phone and showed her the message, sent at 5:12 p.m. 2 check marks, read. She opened her phone, pulled up our chat, and held it out. No message. My text wasn't there. She stared at me, calm, almost amused. See? You didn't send anything. You only think you did. I wanted to scream, but instead I just stood there, heart racing. She began asking me questions I couldn't answer. Are you sure you're ill? Why do you always feel like a placeholder? Do you remember things that didn't happen? Sometimes she whispered it like she was testing me. Sometimes she said it casually, like asking about the weather. At first I thought she was joking. Then I realized she wasn't. One night I woke up and saw her phone glowing on the table. She was asleep. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. There were folders, labeled things like test, shadows, phases. Inside, photos of me, sleeping, cooking, sitting on the balcony. But the angles were strange. Always just enough to make me look not solid. Off, like a background element, not a person. One video had me talking, but there was no sound. Just my mouth moving while faint music played over it. I felt sick. I put her phone back and lay there wide awake until morning. When I asked her about it, she didn't deny anything. She just said, "You weren't supposed to see that. You're disrupting the process." The word stuck with me. Process? She started talking more about tests and phases. She told me her job was classified. "They're watching how I react," she said once. "Who?" I asked. She just smiled. "If I tell you, you'll disappear." She said it so casually, like she was reminding me to take out the trash. I tried leaving once. I packed my bag, shoes half on, socks mismatched. I was halfway out of the door when she said softly, "If you walk away, they'll know you broke character. Is that what you want?" I froze. She looked so calm, sitting there with a blanket around her shoulders, watching me. "You can play along, or you can ruin the experiment. Either way, I'll be fine. You won't." I don't know why, but I put the bag down. We had dinner with my mom. Afterwards, driving home, she said, "You know you actually weren't there, right? bitterly. What the hell are you talking about? I ate the damn pasta. She shook her head and almost said, I ate alone with your mother. You weren't there. You're imagining these things. I pulled the car over, hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. Stop, just stop. She leaned over and whispered in my ear, if I react wrong, they'll delete you. I started writing everything down, keeping receipts, taking photos of meals before eating, counting tiles in the bathroom to see if they stayed the same every day. It sounds insane, I know. But when someone is erasing you piece by piece, you'll cling to anything solid. I finally snapped. I yelled at her, told her she was lying, gaslighting me, breaking me down. She just stood there expressionless while I screamed. Then she whispered, you're not supposed to know. I grabbed her phone. Code 2222. Easy. I opened the folders again. More photos of me, more videos, more evidence of nothing. She didn't fight me for the phone, she just watched. When I finally looked up, she said, you've ruined it now. You're contaminating the study. I left that night. I stayed on a friend's couch, thought maybe it was over. 2 weeks later, I saw her. In the middle of the store, middle of the day. She was just standing by the exit, holding a bag, neutral expression, not angry, not happy, just watching. I walked up to her before I could think. Hey. Hi. How are you? Fine. It was small talk, but the air around us felt heavy, like my chest was filling with sand. I finally blurted out, I'm real. I don't care what you think. I'm real. She tilted her head, eyes steady, voice quiet. You're still here. They haven't deleted you yet. My blood went cold. That was the last time that we spoke. Since then, I've noticed small things, lights flickering, messages appearing on my phone, then vanishing before I can read them. Screenshots that come out blank. The other night, I found an envelope slipped under my door. No return address. Inside was a single photo. My kitchen. My phone on the table. The same angle I always sit at. Only, I wasn't in the picture. On the back, in messy handwriting, it said, do not feed. I don't know if she planted it, or if someone else did. I don't know if this is still about her, or if it ever was. But I can't stop thinking about what she said that day. You're part of a test. You were never real. Bum bum. Oh, that was an alright story. Liked it. It's cool. Yeah. I think she's kind of crazy. Maybe. Yeah. me see if I have a notebook nearby. I don't know how well it'll pick up. What was that? Oh, nope, that's not it. This isn't the one I normally use for it, but we can try it out. What's up, Float? How you doing, buddy? We'll just rip out a piece. Again, if it doesn't work, we can find a different thing. Because some of the, well, let's test it out first. My user manual. Oh no. How you looking, Flo? How you doing? Good, good. Let's look at uses for the word paperwork, I guess. We're working the paper. Hey, yo. If we were on another channel, Float, I would make a very good joke. Yeah. Yeah, that may be it. This is what you sound like when you catch a cat tearing up something they shouldn't. I know, I'd love to tear it up. Hey, yo. I think I'm gonna go make some food. Before I do that, is there any other redeems or anything else that you guys would like before I head out? We will be back tomorrow around, or actually probably more strictly at 9 a.m. EST. It'll be me and Sue narrating, and maybe I'll mark it with a content warning just for those streams. That way I don't have to restrain myself too much. That's our job. Oh, wow. Okay, lady. Right here. And the other one there. And then... just for you. So... Thank you for that advance, honey. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been nice, and it was so pleasant to come back and, you know, after a short little break and see all you guys here and hang out with you. It was a very pleasant treat. It was a very pleasant treat. I think today we are going to raid. We have our very own Nat Keon Neon streaming currently. So we're gonna go raid them. They're also doing ASMR. I'm not a huge fan. I know it's ironic of ASMR, but I believe they also stick to say so stuff as well. But I did watch one of their streams for a little bit one time while just hanging around and waiting. Saw them and wanted to check them out. Recognize the name, and it was actually pleasant. It made me feel calm. It made me feel relaxed. So please join me in. Again, I'm gonna cook, but for a moment, and supporting them, and yeah, hanging out with them for a moment. Love to hear more from Sue. Sue also has a channel. I don't know if I can do both of these things, but I highly recommend it. We'll be streaming tomorrow. She'll be in the title, but if you want to follow her channel, that's there. Did I just mess up the raid though? Who knows? I can't do these things. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, we're still raiding Keon. Good. Thank you, Yumi. Thank you again for the emote. There should be a new emote next time. Goodbye, I think. Yeah, goodbye. No, it's not good? What? I'm out. Thank you guys too.